Hello everyone, this is Clara right here, and today I'm very excited to show you my concept, ideation, design process, and the final product for this year's theme, GAIA. So without further ado, let's get into it. So to start with, I researched what GAIA means at the first place. It is a theory proposed by James Lovelock which suggests that the Earth is a self-regulating system created by the interactions and interconnections of living organisms. This interconnected system works together side by side, which makes the Earth a habitable place for life. This diverse web of life that is now created was once built from nothing but the interconnection of complex networks of diversity. In a way, humans are also part of the network that may change the balance of the ecosystem. Therefore, every action that is done will always have an impact. Gaia, the Greek goddess and the mother of life herself, quoted that devastating beauty was constructed from ordinary things. This idea inspired the final product, which is based on the ordinary or small actions that humans make that may seem insignificant, but may be both destroying or saving. At the end, I wanted this project to serve as a reminder of how impactful our actions are and how they will always impact the balance of this network soon or in the near future. And since we will never know what the future holds, all we can do is the actions that can positively impact the Earth's balance. So to start off with this idea of web of life, the first thing that came up in my mind is creating a product that I can make by creating a connection on itself. Crochet, weaving, and knitting are three main techniques that came up in my mind when I think of connections. As seen here from the product and color board, I intended on putting a lot of weavings, crocheting, and knitting, as it really shows a strong concept of connection. And as I was doing the process, I myself do feel like I was creating some sort of connection to represent the earth and web of life. Now, this is the rough sketch that I ended up with. This entire garment is meant to symbolize the earth as a whole, huge single entity, where organisms work together side by side and is connected to one another. This garment takes the concept that the small actions human makes really does save or destroy this chain of life. As this is the initial sketch of the idea, the final product will have some differences as the placement changes. However, two of the fabric manipulation techniques will still be used, which is crocheting and weaving. The materials used for this is multiple crochet yarn colors to create a mesh base, vines, and flowers. And the rest will be woven fabric in multiple colors such as red, blue, baby pink, and beige for some neutrality. To start off the design process, I started off by creating a mesh base. As I found this black thread at OSF, I thought it was the perfect color and structure for this garment, as the yarns are a bit more stiff. However, the yarns are very small in size, which makes it not possible to make the garment sturdy enough to hold the structure. And to resolve this issue, I made the yarn thicker by folding it 3 times to make the size 3 times bigger as well. And it works really well. As seen here, I need to kept on folding and pulling the yarn to make it bigger and bigger. This base mesh garment dimensions is 8 by 8 in chain, which provides a structure but also lets more elements such as flowers and vines to be placed in between. After the chains are constructed and forms a mesh base for the front, back, and sleeve panels, I combine everything and sew them up together to create a dress or top silhouette. And when I'm done with that, I move forward with creating the vines and the flowers by crocheting. During this process, I really do learn a lot about new crocheting techniques, and as I build the vines and the flowers, I do feel like I'm really creating something new and beautiful from simple materials such as thin yarns combined together. This I find is very relevant to the concept of Gaia. When the leaf and the flowers are made, I move forward with creating the weavings, which is done by preparing the fabric first and cutting them into strips. I did this for the beige fabric as well as the colored ones such as pink, blue, and red. I started by laying 6 strips horizontally and started weaving in a new strip of fabric vertically. To help create a more dramatic effect, I rolled up the fabric a few times before weaving them in. At times, I also tried to keep it tight and readjusting it a few times as well. I also inserted pink, blue, and red strips of fabric strategically in places where it will look nice and aesthetic. I kept repeating this process until the desired length. After everything is well and done, I secured it by hand stitching the sides. And as I was constructing it, I realized that the fabric frays a lot here and there when not handled properly. This process was very metaphorical for me as I realized that As the fabric frays, there might not be any fabric left to weave, and all the hard work, the weaving that was done, might go to waste, even if one strand kept on fraying. This fraying is the product of something that was not well taken care of. And this for me shows the real destruction that might happen in the real world when human made the wrong choice of not caring the world enough. Due to that, I decided to take a better care when I'm weaving and constructing the garment. I decided to left the fraying on the weave as it shows how destroying it can be when the earth is not well taken care of. And I also changed the placement of the vines and the flowers to the sleeves instead, as the initial idea on the center front did not really work out, and the weavings and the fraying is now the focal point where I would want to place it in the middle of the garment and I wanted to show. To secure the placement, I tacked them and weaved them in place. And finally, this is the end result. I really liked how it turned out as it conveys the concept of Gaia that I have initially envisioned in mind. I think the crocheting and the weaving really stands out. And now as this video has come to an end, I really want to thank you for watching my process together, and I hope you have a nice day.